Okay, so step one is lay out your drawing space. So I've got my 1.5 centimeters around. I'm drawing 6 rings, so I need 6 locations for these rings. One thing I haven't done is I haven't marked my vertical line, so I'm just going to do that on this side. I'm measuring between here, 93.5, half of 90 is 45, half of 3.5 is 1.5, almost 2, so 47.2, just about. So I'm going to do another line up here, 47. And I'm just going to do it right here. This is going to be my layout line for all my stones. So because I'm doing rings, I can barely see that, but it's there. So let me go through the instruction first. The instruction says, draw a border. As you usually do, make sure there's space to create 6 neatly arranged objects, which in this case will be 6 rings. We're only doing the top view. Stones should be in settings, whether they're claws or bezels. Layout in 2 vertical rows, so a left side and a right side. On the left side, you will draw 3 faceted stones. I don't care what color they are. So you're going to have 3 center stones, focal stones. And then on the right side, you will have 3 cabs. I don't care what type they are, but that's what you'll do. You'll do, on this side, you'll do a silver ring, a gold ring, and then a bimetal ring at the bottom, which means both gold and silver. And it has to have 1 major faceted stone. So you're throwing 3 faceted stones on this side and 3 cabs on this side. Then you're going to design around those stones in the appropriate gold colors. So now we're taking the stones that we've drawn and we're combining them and making them into rings. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to do the gold one, which is the second one down. And I'm going to start by, in this case, I'm going to do a round stone because that's what I feel like. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay my template on, and I've got my crosshairs on there. And I'm going to erase everything within there. And I'm doing my stone in purple. So I'm going to start with a mid-tone and start with a weighted line, just like we did on our faceted stones. And I'm going to start with a faceted stone. I like to set in bezels, so I'm going to be setting this in a bezel. And I know because I'm going to set this in a bezel, I'm going to have a weighted line that goes the other direction as well. So right here and here is actually a mid-tone. And then I'm going to mark my facets just like before. And then I'm going to start drawing in lightly my facet lines. Okay, that's roughly where my stone's going to be. I could finish my stone right now, which I suppose I will do in this case. Shimmer line, reflection, upside down, refraction. So, shimmer, reflection, refraction. These other little triangles that I'm doing here, and these I pretty much are random, they are just going to give me lighter zones when I go putting in my other areas. So I'm going to actually cover over these, but they're going to make it so that I can make lighter triangles. and I tend to put a few more of these on this side. There we go, that's a good start. And I'm going to find the center of my stone, which is roughly there. These are under facets. That you should already know how to do this, so I'm not going to explain every stage here. So you're going to finish your stone. Various triangles of different levels. This side gets a little bit darker. I like to use different tones within my stones. It gives me a little bit more life. Who doesn't want to have a life, right? So for this demo, for now, you're going to finish this stone all the way so there's no gray paper showing through. But for this demo, that's good enough. Now, I'm going to put my bezel in. First, I'm going to find the one that I used for that. And this is my sienna, which is going to be my layout line for this. I actually go a little bit bigger because my sienna is not very sharp. Weighted line over here, going up. Remember that the height of the bezel is dependent on the size of the stone. So that's just my start off. I'm just going to lay this out. Remember, our rings have to be pretty much 1-to-1. So I'm going to actually measure this out, and whatever I put here, my width from my bezel should be the same width here, like that. And then I'm going to, for this ring, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to here, split the difference a little bit. Again, tape measure would be, or ruler would be fine. And I'm going to go from this edge, like that, and from this edge, like that. And I'm making this up, right? This is your design, so. And this is going to be an opening. Very eye-like at the moment, but because it's going to be an opening, I can darken that line, and I can darken this line a bit. Now, I don't want it to be boring, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to round this, and I'm going to have one wire come up and stop there. I should really have drawn this out in on paper and just transferred it over, but it's okay. And I'm going to make that a bit smaller. Do that. This wire here is going to go underneath. I'm going to leave the little crisscross there. And this wire here. What do I got going on? This one is scooping from here. Like that. Now where they overlap here, I'm going to treat this as one. So now we're just drawing it as a ring, which is similar to the last project. So the first thing I'm going to do is start a transition down here, work my way up. And I'm still working just in my sienna for now. This is just laying it all out in the right locations. Remember, really light on your first lines. You can always build up tone. I'm going to darken this, darken this. Da, 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 da. So it's starting to come together. This is going to be my core shadow. Is going to go here. I'm going to have a little bit here. And I'm going to darken that line. Go right along this edge with it. I'm going to do one right along this edge. And I'm going to crispen this up a bit because it kind of sinks in there. I don't really have anything on there. I'll use that for my shadow in a minute. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that I'm not actually in the video. So this is rounded. You can tell from right here. See, curved, curved. So I'm going to put a transition along this edge. One along this edge. Here. Just like that. I want to transition this up. I'm going to put in some goldenrod. When you're designing this, you're going to lay it out nice and evenly. It's important. So pre-draw it if you have to, lay it out in pencil, and then transfer it over with carbon paper if you want. And I gotta deepen it over here a little bit. Because the right side is going to be darker than the left side. Now I have to think about this. This is going to cast a curved shadow. Slightly curved on this, coming from this edge. So this is all in shadow right here because of the size of my stone. Getting that right is difficult, but do what you can. So I'm going back in with a bit more goldenrod now. And I will do more on the stone when the sample is finished. Now I'm going to add in a bit of a highlight right there, right there. That I'm going to catch a little bit right here, a little bit over here. Not nearly as heavy. And then my canary, go in the other direction. Again, I'm not pressing very hard yet with anything. I just want to make sure that I've gotten my tones in the right locations. And I can tell that I'm missing a little bit. I'm trying to keep my yellow out of this highlight. Keep it white, that's the reflection of the light. So I can see already I'm missing some tone right here. I don't have enough roundness. So because I didn't put in my goldenrod and everything else too dark, I can go back in, add a little bit. Right here I want to give that, oops, come back here, fella. A little more depth. I'm going to give my shadow a little bit more. Don't drop your pencils, that's always a bad idea. So you're going to finish the stone, I'm going to finish the bezel. And because it's flat and it's small, I'm going to add a little bit of sienna. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer across it. I'm going to add a little bit of my goldenrod. If I don't add a little bit of everything, I'm going to add a little bit of tone right there just to pull this forward. Now I'm going to add some goldenrod or some canary onto my stone or my bezel just to get it into the right tones as the rest of the piece. Now I can see that I want a little bit more tone along this edge here. I want this to come up a bit more from here. Now, design-wise, is that a stellar piece? Not really. If it was a bimetal ring, then I would have another, I could add another silver piece here and whatever, but this one's just the gold one, so that's it. And then you're going to do another gemstone here, another gemstone here of different colors. You do not have to stick to one. I could add another one to this. In these areas, I could add them out here. They just have to be set properly. Okay, so this side will be all gemstones, silver, gold, bimetal. All cabs, silver, gold, bimetal. So you're doing 6 designs, and they all have to be different. Okay, that's it. That is project 8.